Revue. Tonight, in cooperation with our co-sponsor, Bethpage Federal Credit Union, we are very pleased to have with us Governor Mitt Romney. The Case for American Greatness, in which he presents his ideas for strengthening America and preserving our global leadership. Mitt Romney is an American businessman and former governor of Massachusetts. He was a candidate for the Republican nomination in the 2008 United States. Whirlwind National Book Tour for him. So please welcome Governor Mitt Romney.
Down in front.
To be here with you. What a wonderful place this is. We just had dinner.
Sit down.
What was the name of that wonderful spot we just ate? Was it Hanu King? What is it? That thing we just on the street? Hanu. Yeah. What do they say? Hawaiian and American cuisine. Delicious. We're just down the street eating, and you're here waiting for us. I feel bad. But it's an honor to be here, and I'll tell you, I never thought that I'd be able to have on this very first visit the person who is the inspiration of my life, my wife, Ann. She's a lot better looking, a lot smarter, and I'm going to ask her if she'll say a word or two to our friends. So, welcome, Ann.
So many of you are here, and I actually am going to ask you to do something. I'm going to actually ask you to read the book, not just buy the book. It's quite amazing. After Mitt finished reading it, I read writing it. After he wrote a chapter, I read it, and I make my suggestions, and always improvements, of course, as you might imagine. So any improvement in the book that happened after my reading it is thank you to because of me. But there was a suggestion at the end where Mitt was always talking about, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. And I finally said, make it really concise at the end of the book so you can really understand what it is that we're facing in this country and what it is that your solutions are going to do to make this country, the way we want America to be again. And so... So make sure to read that part of the book.
You're going to get the chance to read what I wrote about. My concern was, after having, I did business throughout my life, as you know, and as I traveled around the world, I began to recognize that while America was way ahead, there were a number of other nations that were catching up to us, and that were getting closer and closer, and that we were making mistakes at home that were so severe that unless we change course, we could end up being eclipsed by other nations. And I know that's hard for us to even imagine, because all of our lives we've been so far ahead, it's inconceivable that someone could get close to us. But the implications of some nation that doesn't value freedom and personal liberty, some nation becoming stronger than America, is really quite frightening. And so I wanted to make sure that people understand that we shouldn't be apologizing for what America is. We should be standing up for the greatness that America is. Of course, any nation has made mistakes in its history, but in the balance sheet of all the things we've done for the world and the mistakes we've made, there's no comparison. Our economic system, the example that we provided to the world, free trade and so forth, has lifted literally billions of people, not just us, but billions of people around the world out of poverty. And the sacrifice of our fighting men and women has lifted people from the peril of dictatorships and authoritarianism around the world. It is a remarkable thing which has been done by this country, and we need to shore up our sources of strength to make sure that throughout the 21st century and beyond, our kids and our grandkids know the freedom and the prosperity which we've known. Now, there's something going on right now that really concerns me. And that is that I think there is a move in Washington, and I have to tell you, I think the people in both parties love the country, want the country to do better, but I think some are more misguided than others. All right? Oh, yeah. And there's a move right now on the part of some extremely liberal individuals to go back and to if you will, to to fight through war was decided a long time ago. You see, when the nation was founded, the founders had a real difficult decision to make, which is, would we have a country which would be secure in the knowledge that the King of England and the government of England would always take care of us. They'd tax the heck out of us, but ultimately we'd be just fine because they would tell us what to do and we'd do it. Or would we say, no, we're not going to be led by a strong government and a king. We instead are going to live by a almost helter-skelter, Adam Smith-style economy where everybody pursues their own dreams, does whatever they want to do, and that the magic of that freedom will be that it will make us stronger and stronger and ultimately the most powerful nation in the history of the earth. And that's what the founders chose. And that decision made all the difference. That decision meant that people from all over the world that wanted opportunity for themselves and for their kids, that had ideas and dreams to pioneer, came to America. It's in our DNA. People of different lands came here and settled this country, and now we, as we continue to attract those folks and as we are their descendants, we love the principles of liberty and innovation and creativity and pioneering. Not all of us will begin a business like this one that's been here. How many years have you been here? 33 years. 32, 33, who's counting, right? That's the number. Not all of us will do that, but there are a few of us who do. There are a few out there that have these ideas, and they number in the millions in America, and over our history they do, and they've created the nation that we are. But there are people in Washington who think, in fact, no, government knows better. They believe that instead of allowing individuals to pursue their own dreams, that they've got different ideas, that they can expand government, have it take over health care, that they can take more and more of our earnings, that they can borrow more and more money. Those things will smother the American dream, and we're not going to let them do it. No. Getting the high sign, but I want you to know that in writing this book, I've laid out what the challenges are, at least from my perspective, and then I've laid out some pretty straightforward answers for what I think we have to do to solve our big problems. There's one chapter you're going to be a little concerned about because the title is a little troubling. It says the worst generation, question mark, the worst generation. I'm afraid that my generation, the baby boomers, are on track to become America's worst generation by having spent way more than we took in, borrowing money from the Chinese and others, by having put in place entitlements for ourselves that can't possibly be paid for by our kids and our grandkids, and that we're going to have to rein back those excesses. That's one chapter. Hope you get a chance to read. I look at our energy problems and how we can become energy independent. I look at our schools. Our schools are not doing as well as the schools of other nations. By the way, you're going to find out what's the most important aspect of having a great school. One is to have a mom and a dad that'll invest in your child. But once you number two, the key, once you get to school, the most important thing about a school is not the size of the classroom, not even the quality of the building itself, not whether you have a computer or not. It is how good is the teacher. And I will lay out why I think we have to pay better teachers more money. Either be something which you'll love and enjoy, as Anne pretends like she does, or it'll be a source of a cure of your insomnia. So have a good read. I really appreciate your being here and welcoming me on this, our first book signing. I'll tell you, Long Island, you have a warm place in my heart. Thank you so very much.